So here we are in Trumpan Church. Now I've been here before, it's got a massive story about it as this place. A lot of history. I'm out of breath because we run out of battery on the camera and I've just had to run back to the van for another camera, run back, stand here and pretend I haven't run to the van and back. So bear with me. Right, around this area you had the McLeod clan, and on an island just off here somewhere, I'm not sure which one, was the McDonald's. They hated each other. Who were they? McLeod's. McLeod's and McDonald's hated each other and they'd been fighting for years. So anyway, one day, some of the McLeod's got together, went over to their island. They saw that all the McDonald's were in a cave, hundreds of them having a big meeting or something. And they started a fire at the cave entrance. They got some like massive pieces of cardboard, anything which had helped to waft things. And they started wafting all the black toxic smoke into the cave. Killed all the McDonald's in there. There were hundreds of them. They killed hundreds of McDonald's. So anyway, the McDonald's weren't happy about that, obviously, because they were dead. So McDonald's came over here to get some revenge on the McLeod's. All the McLeod's were in church, so they must have come on a Sunday morning about 10:30, 11 o'clock. That'd be my guess.
Yeah.
Good guess, wouldn't it? That's what I'd do. They came to this church and they got them in here. They were in here. So all the McLeod's were in here having a church service, unarmed, because they were at church. You don't take a weapon into church, do you? And the McLeod's just surrounded it. And what did they do? Did they set fire to it? They set fire to it, didn't they?
Can't remember that bit.
Yeah, they set fire to it. They set fire to the church and wouldn't let anybody out. So everyone in the church burnt to death. Again, I think it were hundreds. Over 100, 160.
The whole village, I think it said.
Well, it will have been, won't it? The whole village, which... Yeah, I'm sure I read it was over 160 McLeod's died in this church, in this very church. Which, if that is the whole village, where's the 160 houses around here, really? There's nothing here. There's about 3 houses and a church. But it must have been a lot bigger in them days. So they were in here, and they all burnt to death, apart from one little kid who got out through the window. It must have been that window at the end there. Sneaked through that little gap and ran to a bigger town nearby. Said to everyone in the town, everybody, everyone's getting burnt in the church. All the bad McDonald's have come over and they're killing all the McLeod's. Come and help, come and help, come and help. So all the McLeod's were inside the church and the McDonald's were burning it down. The other McLeod's were coming to help them, but there weren't many McLeod's left. So what they did is they used the fairy flag. Can you remember the chief of the McLeod's? He had the fairy flag and he decided to use it. So he used the fairy flag. Apparently this was the second time he'd used it. I don't know what he used the first time on. He waved the flag and it made his men twice as many. He doubled the size of his army to beat up the McDonald's. So they all came darting over here, running, and the McDonald's saw them coming, so they legged it. Went back to the boats down here. I don't know if you can see down there, Maz, there's a little bay. They had a boat in the bay down there.
Yeah.
And they were running down to the boat, but they managed to catch up with them, did the McLeod's. Caught up with them, started beating them all up. Bang, 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 bang. And they killed every single McDonald. So it was just tit for tat, you know. McDonald's went over there, killed them all. McLeod's went over there and killed them all. McDonald's came over here and killed all the McLeod's. And then the McLeod's who were left came and killed the McDonald's. All around here, history, you see. Proper history. Isle of Skye. This is what it's all about. This is what I do. We love this, don't we? We love history. There's more to the place as well. There's a couple more stories to tell you and a few things to see. I can't remember seeing this before, but it's like grave shaped, is that? That's really strange. Someone could just fit in there quite comfortably as a dead person, couldn't they?
Yeah, don't look at me.
I wonder if that could have been a grave. It can't have been a grave. Don't know. So this stone here, this is the priest's stone or heaven stone. This is an ancient stone, okay? It's not a normal gravestone. This is an ancient stone. Well, there's a big story goes along with this as well. Apparently, if you've done something wrong, yeah, they'd bring you here, and what you had to do is they'd blindfold you, and you'd have to try and get your finger in the hole in the top. So I'm going to try it. I ain't got a blindfold, but I'll just put my hand over here, yeah? If you can do it, you're innocent. If you can't do it, you're not innocent. So let's give it a go.
Close your eyes.
I'm clearly innocent. It's easy. Anyone can do that. It's simple. But something people have done over the years is they come along and they put coins in the cracks of the in the stone. Now I can't remember why they do that. Can you, Mazzy?
I don't really know why they do that. No.
No, don't know why they do that, but there's a story behind that as well. But come with me. Just come here. This is laughable. Because they did that over there, yeah? Some idiots, right, complete and utter idiots, got the wrong stone. They thought it was this one here, look. Look, they've been putting money in here. Proper spendable money as well. There's 80 pence in there. 80 pence worth of idiots putting money in there, and they should have been putting it in the other one. Hey. I can't remember this story very well, but I'm not getting my notes out. It's freezing, and I haven't got any notes. But this is the grave of Rachel Grange. We're going back to the 1700s now. Now, she was married to a very important man. I think he was a member of Parliament down in London. But he were knocking around with any girl he could. He were a right dirty old git. He'd sleep with anything. And she found out about this, and they ended up splitting up. I don't even think they got divorced, because it isn't what kind of thing you did in them days. They split up, and what she'd do is she'd keep going round her house on a night and like shouting at him, saying, "Oh, you're a slag! You'll sleep with anyone, you dirty old git! I hate your guts!" And she'd scream things like that outside his house every night. Now he were a member of Parliament or something like that, so it were making him look stupid. So he arranged for her to get kidnapped. She got kidnapped and was taken. She was imprisoned for 17 years on various different Scottish isles, just really tiny ones. And I believe the last place she was in a cave here on the Isle of Skye before she died. Or did she die in Edinburgh?
3 years here.
No, yes, she was in a cave here, and then somehow she managed to get a message out to somebody, someone on a boat, some kid on a boat or something. "Will you give this message to my family or post it or something?" Message got back to Edinburgh, where she was from, and they managed to sneak her off Skye and back to Edinburgh, where I believe she lived for another 3 years. This is a true story. This isn't a made-up fable. This is true. And yeah, she's buried here on the Isle of Skye. Poor Rachel. That's what happens, you see, if you don't look after your partner. You've got to look after your partner, and otherwise relationships just don't work. You can't sleep around like James did, dirty git. One thing I forgot to mention, so I'll just go back to it. He faked her death, did her husband. People were starting to get suspicious, saying, "Where's your wife? What's happened to your wife?" So he says, "Oh, she's dead. She's dead, yeah. She died, unfortunately." And he even held a fake funeral for her in Edinburgh. So somewhere up in Edinburgh, there's probably another stone, very similar to this, same name, but she ain't actually there. She's here. But something else she did is she told everyone that he supported the Jacobites, and that got him into a lot of trouble in his job, you know, as an MP or whatever it is. So yeah. Anyway, they just hated each other. He were a git, she were a grass. End of, really. And the last little story about this place is there's someone else famous buried here who was some kind of philosopher,
Yeah, a social...
doctor, something really boring,
social
wasn't it?
Psychology.
Something really, really boring. So we haven't even looked for his grave because we didn't even understand what the word was, which is what his job was. But that's it. That's the end of this place. Sorry for rushing around a bit for you, but it is freezing. We're trying as best. Thanks for joining us on yet another
guys.
video.
Bye.
We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.